Hello world, welcome to a brand new edition of the Influence Show. My name is Michael Blessed, and joining me as always is Emmanuel Enejo.
Yo,
Man, how you doing, bro?
Good? Very well, man.
Man,
How's it been?
man, we thank the Lord, man.
How's life treating you?
Man, treating us nice. Man.
All right,
we
we
thank
thank
God
God,
in
bro.
everything.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, sure. So how you doing, bro?
Of course, as you can see,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah,
see this?
like serious. So today,
All right.
we are going to be talking about gender-based violence.
Absolutely, man.
You know, it's one of the issues we are facing in our society today, and we really need to talk about it today. And we hope you out there learn something out today, because we want to say completely no to gender-based violence.
Absolutely, man.
You get?
It's like I was telling you
Yeah.
in the cab, right? I sustained this injury, right,
Wow.
as a result of gender-based violence.
Are you serious?
You see, at the point, right, in this case, I got so confused knowing who is, who is violating the right
Yeah, okay.
of the other
yeah.
in this very case now, because in the end, right, the woman was breaking bottles
Are you
on the
for real?
husband's head.
That's
This,
serious.
this is not funny, right? And at the same time, the husband too was fighting so hard to make sure that he wounds the woman,
Oh,
because
really?
he was ready to wound that woman. In fact, he was ready to kill this woman, for God's sake.
That's serious. Gender-based violence.
So now this is what it is, right? It was I think it was 9 days ago now, last week Saturday precisely now, and I was lying down, right, after returning from work. I became so tired as usual, and I was just lying down to take some nap before I could wake up to start doing one or two things again. And I started hearing shouting, them shouting, and the woman was like, "You're going to kill me today, you're going to kill me today."
Yeah.
Kind of, that kind of, cry from women, right? And this guy won't talk. The man in question now, he was not talking.
Because he's the man in question.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so I said I was not going to go and separate any fight. And the reason being that this is more like their usual habit now. It's not the first time they would do that, right? And so I said, let me also give them a deaf ear. Just like every other neighbors around, we're not going to go to their room to go and separate them. But man, at a point, right, I realized that was against my conscience, right?
Sure.
Because I got to think that, what if all of us kept silent and this thing leads to death?
I should be the one to blame you first before God.
It's all right
Yeah,
now.
sure.
It then means that we are as worst as those guys who were watching those guys who were watching the police officers, who knelt on George Floyd's neck up until George Floyd cannot breathe. He said, "I can't breathe." But then these guys stood, they were watching their fellow police officers, right? They were watching until this guy gave up the ghost. So I would have been as worst as those police officers
Yes, sure.
if I did not go to separate this fight, no matter what I think it will cost me. Of course, this is part of what that kind of fight will cost you when you go there. Because at the end of the day, it's just like you laying down your life. Because in the process, right, when I got there, trying to separate, man, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
It was so difficult to do that, man. I've never witnessed that type of, fight between husband and wife, bro. So, in the process of, removing this guy's hand, or the man's in question now, from, the woman, in the process of separating the fight in short, I was pushed, right? Like I said, anything can happen to you in that kind of atmosphere, right? So, there is this sales gear that was also with them. The sales gear to the woman, right? And she also was trying all her possible best with my effort, it was still tough. We couldn't separate this, and eventually, right, I was able to, separate them, and that was with a whole lot of effort and strength.
Yeah.
It was in the process, right, that somehow, if I tell you I know how this injury was sustained, it's a lie,
sure,
because I was
all
not
in your mind was how to separate
the fights,
yeah,
right?
Sure, I understand.
All I knew was bottle was broken, for God's sake,
Yeah.
and of course the woman beat the husband.
Yeah.
Those are terrible experiences, and I think that it needs to be addressed, and it should be stopped in our various homes, right?
Yeah, and our
Because
society too.
in the end, right, some of those persons that later came out to join, right, especially when we are done separating the fight, I remembered this very man was not in the compound when all of this started. So when he came, he realized what was going on, right, and of course he joined in trying to maybe talk to the guy, right, because at the point I have to take the guy or the man to a different place where that man agreed that he was going to stay with him and calm him down, kind of. Now, guess what has led to this fight, for God's sake? It is because, according to the man, right, he told the woman not to be drinking, because he said a few days ago to that day, the woman drank to stupor, right, and she almost died overnight. And so, by God's intervention, right, she was able to, stay alive. That is after receiving some medical attentions, right? And this guy said he wanted her not to drink again, right? But then, 3 days after that incident, he met her in a party, right, where she has already, drink, and in the process was already insulting almost everybody in that location. Very shameful, right?
Sure, definitely.
And that was where he started talking to her, and of course they all came to her own compound, and from there, right, fight started.
Like seriously,
You understand?
This gender-based violence, is not an issue to be overemphasized. In our society today, a lot of things are happening. A lot of breakup, a lot of things are happening, but today we want to talk about this gender-based violence. And I want you to understand that when they say gender-based violence, it is not only the men that violate the right or are being violent to the lady. It's vice versa. So we are going to be talking about the both of them today, and what brings about the violence. What brings about the violence in your home, in our society today. There is I watched a clip I think last week or some days ago, and two couples were fighting, and people stood there instead of like what you did. Earlier I wanted to say when you said you want to pay a deaf ear to them. So you don't want to go. You're saying you don't want to go and separate the fight. But like I said, I would have been the first person to condemn your act. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So when the video I said, a man and the woman, they were fighting. So at the process, people were standing, people stood there, and they were videoing the incident, and they were instead of them to go like you did, they refused to go, and the women, after all the fight, after all the stress and the whole thing, the lady in question picked up a stone and hit the man on the head, and the man died.
Okay.
You understand? So it is not just about the man violating the rights of the lady; it's the both sides.
Absolutely.
So we are going to be talking about how it affects the harmful part when it comes to man, and how it affects the ladies too.
Absolutely.
So we're not don't fix your mind towards gender. When I say gender-based violence, is only the men that violate or that goes against the right, or that treat the ladies in a wrong way. So I want to clear that. And thank you. Let me first thank you for the act.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
You know,
thanks.
like the Bible says.
See, it's the Lord's doing, right?
Sure,
Of
sure.
course, it's marvelous in our
Yeah,
eyes,
sure,
man.
sure. Like the
we
Lord-
really-
like the Bible says, it says, "Blessed are the peacemakers."
Of course.
That is what you did.
Absolutely.
You don't know the reward today.
Absolutely.
So today, the violence in our society today, the violence in our home today, we want all of us to come to an agreement or to reach to this understanding that the violence in our home must stop. Because I want to see let's prescribe a drug to this. Let's
cure,
say
right?
yeah, a cure to this. If there is love, there must not, if anywhere love rules, it's hard, it's difficult to find violence in such home.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Speak to it.
So if wherever you are, there is short, we must have misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
But what is most important is how you resolve whatever comes up between you and anybody. Be it a lady, be it a male, or anyone around you. It could be a gender-based violence or violating a right of a girl child, or even a man or a boy, a little boy. We have about so many things that have been happening in our society. So many, do we say child trafficking? Do we say all those things are violent to human, it's violent to nature. So we must find a way to put a stop to all this. And how do we do that? We do that by putting it in the hands of God and let love rule our hearts. If the Lord rules our heart, all these will be a things of the past. You could just sit down and say, look, those things I've done it before and there is nothing I've gained out of it. So what do? I have to put a stop to it and let the love. You know, when I think about this violence, this gender-based violence, it will be like, you know, let's talk about relationships. You know, people who are in relationships, like let's say a home. You know, initially you see that love covers everything initially. But what comes up? The question is, what comes up later? That that love vanish. What comes about this violence in the home? What brought about all those things that start bringing their ugly heads up in our home?
And true love is not supposed to, fade away, right?
Fade away. Yes, we're not supposed to fade away because you made a promise that, look, I'm going to love you, I'm going to be with you to the end of time, to the end of our days.
Right,
you know?
the songs
Yeah,
said, true love is like death.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Another place, love is described as fire, right?
Yeah.
So how comes
it consumes every I don't.
So,
yeah. So
it shouldn't fade
it
away.
shouldn't fade away. Yeah. Thank you very much. It shouldn't fade away. We must put a stop to it. Traditional, harmful violence, economical violence, physical violence. Against humanity,
women, against humanity,
against women,
against men as well.
Yes,
right?
yes, against both sides.
Absolutely, man.
Do you understand?
But bro,
Yeah.
you will agree with me, right? That currently,
Yeah,
the gender-based violence
yeah.
is
More
mostly, or
on the girl child or the
it is
girl.
mostly on the female folks, right?
Yes. You know why?
It's on the women.
Yeah.
The women suffers this mostly in the
because-
society
yeah.
as we speak.
like seriously, you know, the reason why we are trying.
Sorry.
The reason why I'm trying to bring up this so that it won't be as if it is based on only the men to the women.
I know.
We need to have this little understanding that even if we are giving the 80% to the women, that they are being molested, they are being treated wrongly in the hands of men. On the other hand, we need to remember that even men too face such in the hands of women too.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Now, let us go back again, right?
Yes.
To start, talking about. I'm still going to tell you one more story though.
Okay, I'm
But
listening.
then,
sure.
Not right away.
Yeah.
I'll tell that story shortly after now. Now let's go back to the root of gender-based
Based
violence.
Yes.
What are the causes of gender-based violence?
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to my first story, right,
Yeah.
you will understand that there was an agreement reached
Yes.
by this so-called husband.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm going to tell you why I said so-called husband as well. Right? Now, he said the wife shouldn't drink again, right?
Yeah.
The wife agreed, right?
Okay.
But eventually, right, she went and drank. Maybe because she was already addicted to
Sure,
drinking
such like-
alcohol, right? Now, it is now established that one of the root cause, right, of that particular one is disobedience.
Sure, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And of course, you earlier mentioned lack of love
Yes.
as well. So, I am for the fact that if there be an agreement, right, between the couples, then that agreement has to be abide by.
Yeah, sure. That
If
is
you make a
understanding.
promise, if you make a promise that you are not going to do something again, then you should abide
to
by
it,
those
yeah.
things. But at the same time, that is not an enough reason for you to want to beat your wife up. Because when we found out, we realized that this so-called husband, like I keep saying, is also a drunkard. And so it becomes very, impossible, right?
Yeah.
For a drunkard to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, his counterpart
Yeah.
to stop drinking. How do you do
How
that?
do you do that? It's very, very
It becomes
impossible.
very impossible, right?
You know what? Why such thing happens, and why you see that it's not the agreement which is not
Abide by.
is because you see that even the man himself is a drunkard.
Yeah,
And there is no way two blind men cannot live themselves.
it's what it is.
You understand?
It's what it is.
When you said I shouldn't drink again, then you should stop yours first. You should
Absolutely.
take the stone on your eyes away
Absolutely.
before you can see clearly and talk to
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
It's what it is, right?
So it must stop.
Yeah.
The gender-based violence must stop.
Yeah.
And let me say something.
My
When-
story after now.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
When we talk about gender-based violence,
Yeah.
the reason why you saw all these things happening is because you see, we men, we are likely showing our power, that we are the man.
Okay.
We are the man of the house.
Okay.
We are more stronger, and they are the weaker vessel.
Yeah.
That is our belief. That is the common belief. And I keep saying that. I've said to many of my friends, and you will bear me witness. Some of my friends out there, and I will repeat, and I'll keep repeating it until I no longer exist. You understand? I said, any man, anyone who lay his hand on his women
On his
is
wife.
a tout.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
It's a tout.
I can't.
Mean an agbero.
Like seriously, it's pure
Hey,
agbero.
Lord
Like-
help me not
like
to lay
serious.
my hands on,
That's
on
what-
my wife. man.
like that.
That way I don't become an agbero.
Yeah, sure,
I'm
sure.
afraid
You
the
must-
Lord will help you,
No,
and the Lord
I
will
cannot.
help
I cannot.
all of
Do you
our
understand?
viewers,
So
right?
anytime I bring such talk before my friends,
Yeah.
the response I always get is because because you are not married yet.
So is this just said
because,
than done?
Yeah, because it's easier said than done. And I keep saying it, whatever you don't plan,
Yeah.
there is no way you can execute
Absolutely.
it. Do you understand?
Which is do turn horses.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Then I would have been riding on. In fact, I'll be touching the sky by
It's
now.
all right. It's
You
all
get
right.
it?
It's all right.
So I keep saying it. Stop this violence against women. We are going to be more focused on ladies because they are
They suffer this thing
95%.
mostly then.
They suffer this thing 95%.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So why we brought about the guys on is because we don't want to exempt that out. We want to keep everybody along.
Absolutely.
But
man.
mostly we are more focused on the gender-based violence towards our girls, child, our women at
Absolutely.
home, and
Absolutely.
our women in the society.
Absolutely.
We come to believing that we are the men, and they are not supposed to talk wherever we are. They are supposed to be keeping quiet.
So that
you
alone
know,
is
it's
a violence against
against
them.
their right.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Because
Everybody
that is,
are entitled to their
that is-
opinion. Yeah.
That is how do we tag that now? Abuse of freedom of
Freedom of
speech.
speech. Yeah, yeah, sure,
It's what it
definitely.
is.
Yeah, that's what it is,
It's
man.
what it is.
It's abuse of freedom of speech towards the women.
But
you know,
those guys talk a lot too.
Yeah?
Those-
No. You know, I
they
know
talk.
they talk a
man,
lot, but you need to understand that
Yeah.
they are the women.
they are the
You don't,
women.
yeah,
They are
yeah.
created to talk in short.
Yeah.
So allow
You know,
them to have exercise their
You know,
freedom.
if you hinder them from talking,
Yeah.
then you are jeopardizing their effort, or you are like preventing them from their rights. They are meant to talk.
Absolutely.
So you cannot do away with it. You don't want to. I'm sure you don't want to marry and you don't want to marry a wife and she won't talk and she wants her to be silent at all times. How would you feel? How would you understand how she feels?
Yeah.
How would you understand? How would you want to know her if she don't talk? And
So
let
God
me tell you
created them
something.
like that on
Yeah.
purpose, right? So
They are
fire on
just like
God.
that.
Yeah.
And you must not. You don't have to stop them.
Absolutely.
You need to. The only thing that you need to do is just to pray to God to give you the understanding how to cope with her.
Yeah. Because
You understand?
lack of understanding is
Yeah,
also
yeah. It's also part of it.
the root
You
cause
understand?
of gender-based violence.
So when you said, you know, I keep saying, you know, when I said economic violence, you know, some of our men, they will be like, when you take your salary, when you take your ad-end money, come and bring it. Then they will be the one to be deciding for you how you do it. Quite all right. It's nice when if she do that willingly, not you forcing her over her will, forcing her to do that which she don't want to do, because she has family too, she has brethren, she has brothers too, and she has needs to tend to. You know, she don't want to. She mustn't be telling you everything she needs to do. On basically 90% or 95%, she needs to tell you whatever she do. But sometimes she don't want to. Maybe she wants to give somebody something. She mustn't come and be telling you every time. She need that cash too. She need the money too to do something.
So summary is
we need
because
to, you know,
hold on, right?
yeah,
Because me, I can't really wrap my head
Yeah.
around your point of view
yeah,
yet.
sure.
And I would like them to also get this clarification.
Yeah.
So are you for or against women saving their own or being in control
Control.
or in charge of their finances?
See. What I'm
Or
trying
what
to say.
exactly are you
Yeah.
portraying, bro?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. This is what I'm trying to say. Women, they are human as well.
We're discussing that because that is part of the violence against women.
Yeah, sure.
So,
They are women,
Yeah.
and they are entitled to their own opinion. And again, they have needs to tend to.
okay.
So I'm against the men who post on their lady that they must give 100% of what they earn to them.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm
The point-
against that.
The point is getting clearer now.
You understand?
Speak to that, man.
You understand? I don't. You want? You know, it marvels me sometimes when I will like, and I will just sit down and say, "You, how much did you earn? How much do you earn a day? How much do you earn weekly? How much do you come on, refund everything to me?" No, I can't just do that. Okay, what? Okay, let me take myself as example as a lady now.
That's you treating your wife like an investment.
Yeah, an investment, because all what she do, you want her to bring the return. No, we should say no to those things. It must be put. Okay, why not give her the room to bring it herself? Why not bring her the room? Give her the room that, look, honey, this is what I brought. This is my salary. This is what I've worked on. This is it. And what are we supposed to do this month? What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to put together? What are the investments we need to invest on? What are those things we need to invest? It's better than you forcing yourself. I mean, forcing your power, or power against them to bring those things. And now let me tell you something. When you do that to your woman, you are giving her some kind of understanding that that thing you are bringing home is worth less than what you're supposed to be bringing. Because a man, let me tell you something. Somebody said the man who expects her woman to be bringing everything to her home, to the home, for them, as in to be piling up together. You bring 10%, I bring 10%. That man will never make progress, because she is your helper. She's just a helpmate to you. You are the one to be taking this responsibility. If she does that, she's just helping you. We need to get that clear.
Absolutely.
Don't expect them to bring 50%. You bring 50%. No, you are the head of the home, man.
In the end,
Wake up, man.
yeah, she is. What you're saying is that woman.
She's your
is
neck.
Not,
You are the head.
all right. She's your neck.
Yes.
You are the head.
Yes.
So you should be the head.
Yes.
in
You understand?
reality, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now another point, right? If I had you clearly, take the fact that these women or this woman is not like your investment.
She
Neither
can't. She's your love.
good. Neither is she your business partner.
Thank you.
And so
Pardon.
you reduce yourself
Yeah.
by
telling
telling
them,
her, right,
telling her, yeah.
to under a must
Yeah. Under
bring
a,
her
thank you.
income.
In quote, under a month.
In this
Under a month.
in this same era, right,
Yeah.
where it is not everybody that even wants their wife to go out,
Go out
and
to-
work.
Some will get married and say, honey, just stay at home.
I still have some guys who
Yeah.
are of the opinion that they will never allow their wives to go and work in any office.
Definitely.
And so, if anybody, right, has come up with such decision to say,
You must
look,
bring
my
50%.
wife,
Yeah.
right, hold on, my wife is not going to work,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he is ready, right, to take,
Responsibility.
responsibility
Yeah.
for the upkeep and the training of his children,
Fine.
then that is fine by me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I knew of guys who are currently doing it. I know who
A lot.
who has
110.
done it, who are
Yeah.
no longer in existence.
Yeah, sure.
The late Kobe Bryant, right? We all remembered when he said in an interview that his
E.T..
wife, right? Yep, hold on now. You tell them about E.T.
Sure.
His wife, because Kobe told the wife that she was not going to go out and work, that she should stay in the business of catering for his
For
children. And the wife in turn told Kobe Bryant to say, look, if you say I must not go out to work, then you too, you must do everything possible to make sure that,
Sure.
me and these children, we don't
Yeah.
lack anything that we need. And Kobe, of course, signed for the deal. And he went all out. And up until Kobe died, this woman never worked, neither do they lie.
And she was living good.
She was living good.
Do you understand?
You wanted to say something about E.T.?
So,
I should
E.T.,
continue.
let me tell you about E.T.
Let's go, man.
E.T. is a guy who said, his woman is going to stop working.
Absolutely.
Why? Because he has seen that, look, how much are you going to earn?
All right.
How much money are you going to earn that will prevent you from taking care of our children?
And of course, because she was having some health
inner,
challenge,
yes,
right?
yes.
And it was as a result of the
Yeah.
stress that she was
She passing
undergoing
through,
on
yeah,
her job.
on her
And
job.
he said, look,
You
from
must
this
stop.
day forward.
Let's count it. He said, let's count it. How
All
many
right.
days? How many days do we have in a week?
It's all right.
We count it.
It's
How
all
many
right.
days do we have in a month?
It's all right.
Check it. And
It's all right.
for over how many? He said, for as long as this woman will live,
All right.
she will no longer work.
It's
And
what it is.
man, this
And
is-
the Lord has been helping E.
let me tell you something.
Did you remember that E also relocated to California recently because
there are some
of that
decisions.
same woman?
Sure.
The
there
weather,
there
right?
are some decisions you take that.
The
don't
weather
deal
in
with
the
it,
in the US, right,
yeah.
was not favorable
to the
for
his
his
wife.
wife, right?
Yeah.
And so the doctor advised that in order for her to spend longer lifetime on earth, they needed to relocate to California. And we all know how expensive it is to live in Cali, bro.
California. Man.
And this guy achieved that with the power of
Of
God.
God. Yeah.
That is 100. In fact, let me give it to him. It is 120% being, in charge.
Let me tell you
being
something.
responsible
Let me
as
tell
a
you
father
something.
in the house.
Let me tell you something.
Come on.
I have 2 points here to make.
Yup.
If you think you want to show yourself as a man,
Yup.
if you think you want to exercise your power as a man, then why not convert the power and
Alright.
start loving your spouse?
All right.
Why not convert the power and start loving your children?
Yup.
Why not convert the power and start helping society?
Yup.
Instead of using that physical power against
Women.
your women, against your wife, against women in the society.
Yup.
We must put a stop to this. And
Absolutely.
this is the second one.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, let me use Christ, the life of Christ Jesus as example to it.
Tell them,
He has
bro.
the power. He has every right to in fact to do and undo.
Absolutely.
But what was the result? He humbled himself.
Absolutely.
He makes sure everything, he provides everything. He heals the sick and provide food for the hunger.
Yep.
All those things he did. He did it out of love.
Yup.
But he has the power. People mocked him. People say all manner of things against him. But what did he say? He paid no attention to them because
Absolutely.
he knew clearly that he no human being You know that we are very weak. You know, and let me put it at this our discussion now.
Yep.
When you know
Say
your
the
woman,
way it is, man.
when you know your woman, when you know
Speak to
she
it.
talks too much,
Yep.
when you know her weak point,
Yep.
then start working. Why not convert your power? The strength you would use to molest her, the strength you will use to harass her, the strength you will cause her the pain. Why not convert the strength and start working towards her weakness,
Absolutely.
towards her shortcoming,
Yep.
and
Build her
start-
up.
build her up instead of exercising that power and be hitting her. You know, there are in fact, lots and thousands of souls have lost because of gender-based violence,
That has to stop.
and it must. We are saying
And the day it
100.
needs to stop,
Yes,
the
it's
moment
now.
is now.
It's now.
Has
It's
to
not
stop.
tomorrow. It must stop now. See, like somebody said, a word is enough for the wise.
Absolutely.
You know.
But not until I tell the second story.
No, sure.
Because
Yeah,
it's
sure,
necessary now.
Sure, definitely.
Because there is still more points, right,
Yeah.
that we need to hit.
No, you
Now,
cannot mention it all.
Alright. Just
It's
like,
much.
just as if this was not enough, right?
Yeah, serious.
Now, few days to last week, I met this woman, this woman,
Come on,
right?
question, yeah.
Yep. And she was like, after exchanging greetings with her, she was like, hey, I'm in trouble.
Are you serious?
I'm in trouble.
Wow.
And I was like, woman, what is it?
What's the
Why,
problem?
what's the problem?
Yeah, sure.
And she said, my husband. What's wrong with your husband? She said, my husband is waiting for me. My husband is waiting for me at home. What? Now, she said, okay, if your husband is waiting for you at home, then what is bad
What's the
about
problem?
that?
Yes.
Now, of course, she knew she had done something wrong, right?
Oh.
See, this husband in question, she said, will always go out, right, and we never come home up until 11, 12 o'clock in the midnight. He will go party, he will go drink, just like we had in the first story, right?
Yes.
And he will not come home. And this very day, she also tried to go out, to go flex. That was the language she used. Now, because this very day that she went and flexed, the husband now returned home before her. So she already knew that on reaching home,
There's fire on the mountains.
so this is funny, but at the same time,
Yeah.
not funny.
Wait, no,
right?
we need to say this.
Did you understand?
Sure.
Now, I now said, okay, now, is this person, right, really your husband?
Yeah. Thank you. That's where I'm trying to.
And she said, he has not married her yet. Now, how dare you call somebody
who is not married to you, your
who has
husband?
not married you, who has not even
Legally.
paid a dime on your head,
Your
your
husband.
husband? You see why I called the first story, why I called the husband factor there,
Yes.
the so-called husband?
Yeah.
How dare you call somebody who has not paid even
Dime.
one kobo on your head, your husband? So that's the first place.
She
wrong.
She lose her glory by saying
So
that. Yes,
because
definitely.
she called him her husband because she told me they were already staying together.
Wow.
Because going to the house with the fear that the husband will quarrel her or even beat her, it's an indication that they were together, right? Okay. Now, how do you go and stay with somebody who has not married you, who has not legally married you? Right. Now, if you stay in that kind of relationship, if those are the types of relationship you keep, if those are the type of relationship
you
you
expect less
Yeah.
than this so-called gender-based violence
yeah,
at home.
if that is the type of relationship our younger generation, is about thinking
Yeah.
of keeping, because they said husbands are scarce, then you should be ready to face gender-based violence,
Definitely.
because your word will not be known by this so-called husband.
Yeah.
Did you understand?
Already you've given it yourself out that you are very cheap.
You're very cheap.
Because you lost your worth, man. But why would you call somebody who is not legally married to you your husband? You know, that man in question
How would
has
you be
every
valued?
right to molest you He can even kill you
It's what it
and
is.
do to you anything he
Because
wants.
he doesn't know your worth.
Oh my goodness. Why would he know your worth when
What
you
has he
pack
paid
yourself?
on you for him to know your worth? You don't
You know.
present yourself that cheap. You're not sachet water
rating
for God's
yourself so
sake.
low. Why are you rating yourself so low?
You're not suya for God's sake.
Man, they will just
And so
test.
nobody
and
should test you
test
before
marrying.
knowing your value.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody should test you right before doing the necessary things that should be done. I think you also need to play your part.
Sure.
You also need to place some self-value, self-worth on
Self-esteem.
yourself.
Yes.
You need to place some self-esteem on yourself as a woman. And by so doing, these guys will
Respect
appreciate
you.
you. These men will place some value
On
on you.
you.
And
Yeah.
they will not be punching you like Sorry, man.
Anthony Joshua.
You know what
I
it
don't-
is?
You know,
Anthony won some billions
Some
of
billion
dollars
naira,
recently
yeah,
by
by
punching.
punching. And
And these
you.
guys are in the house punching
Punching their
for
wife.
free, punching your wife, and nobody is rewarding you.
Man.
And you are punching. You want to kill?
You know?
You want to sniff out a life that you
you
cannot
can't even
give.
you can't even give. You can't even create one.
What you can do better than this?
You know.
man.
See,
And so, like I was saying, this woman has not been married. They were still in courtship, according to her. And you're already suffering with all of this.
all of this. And
You want to
what-
remain in the marriage? Hold on now.
My
Now,
goodness.
I also asked her, now what is the main issue?
Yes.
You stayed outside late. She said yes. Now, why do you think your husband will quarrel you? She said because she stayed late, right? Now, second reason she gave me is that the husband drinks, just like in the first story, and she also drinks, and the husband is against her drinking too.
You know, these things. We need to talk about these things.
It's all right.
Serious.
Now, I now said, if you think that is the problem, your husband did not want you to flex
Yeah.
and does not want you to drink. How do you even say somebody is your husband? Somebody is about planning to marry you, and you still stick to this word flex, flex, flex. I still cannot fathom that. Now, how then? The way forward then is, okay, you stop those things,
Yeah.
ask you not to do right,
Yeah.
and I stop her. You too. You need to quit drinking,
Yeah,
right?
drinking, yeah.
That way there will be peace,
In the home.
right? And she said she can't quit.
Oh.
But
That's serious.
how can
Whoa,
he
whoa.
be drinking and ask her to
Not to
quit?
drink, yeah,
And at
yeah.
that point, I also became
Hands up.
tired because there is no further thing I could say.
You know, hey.
Did you understand?
Yeah.
And she said
Mm.
thank you, and that ends the conversation, because that conversation really needs to end there.
You know.
Because I do not have any further thing to tell her. Did you understand?
See,
So how we get into this relationship too matters
matters
a lot.
Yeah. You know,
Did you
they say-
understand?
they say the way you place yourself, it matters a lot.
It's what
You
it
know,
is.
you cannot just place yourself so cheap and you expect some value or someone to value you in return.
It's what it is.
You cannot do that, and it is not possible. So we want to, when we are talking about this gender-based violence, you know, if you think as a man, if you think you are strong enough, if you think you want to exercise your physical power on your woman, please, why not just do that with Anthony Joshua or all those guys out there?
All right. Oh, you
Why must
convert,
it-
you
why-
convert
you
that
convert
to
it?
something positive.
Positive, yeah.
You know,
understand? And use your strength.
you
And you, in fact,
you-
start
you-
using income with your strength.
you box her with some
Yeah.
act of love.
Act of love,
and,
yeah.
and kindness,
convert-
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And permit me for using box. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you should do physical boxing now, but let the boxing be
Yeah,
showers
yeah,
of love,
of
showers
upon
of
her.
blessings, showers of everything good.
You know, like I
do you
always say,
understand?
like I said earlier,
Yep.
I said, any man who lay his hand on his woman
Says an
is a
agbero,
towel.
right?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
an
agbero.
agbero. Yeah, it's a towel. Yeah,
Alright.
and I'm saying this today, and I'm saying it again. Do not lay your hand on your woman. She is not your punching bag.
So what must they do? What must the man listen
Man,
to you now?
man, what I'm urging you to do is
In
you
summary
convert
now.
it. Yeah,
Summary now.
convert it to love.
Yep.
let love rule.
Should dialogue more, right?
Yeah, dialogue and try to understand
Each other,
where
right?
yeah, try to understand each
Understanding
other
is key.
and try to see how what is making you or what is bringing that hatred or what is prompting you to be doing she doing those things that you don't want her to do. Everything is negotiable.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Think
now,
about
talking
whatever-
about everything being negotiable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know that it is also better and safer to negotiate when the journey has not really started.
Start head, yeah,
So
yeah.
from the beginning, you should
Yeah.
you
You
should
should-
know what
yeah.
turns your
You
man
should- you should
on
do
and
your do's and the don'ts.
What are
Yeah.
his turn-offs,
Yeah,
right? And I should be able to know the turn-on,
yeah,
the
yeah.
turn-ons of my woman,
Yeah, yeah.
of my woman, and also the turn-off of my woman.
Yeah.
Because by understanding by
Each
understanding each other, right,
Yeah.
you will then know when when you are stepping on each other's toe, right?
Toe, yeah.
You then know the level to which you can go with her and the level to which you cannot.
You cannot.
So if this understanding keeps lacking, then come on, this issue will always exist in our homes. And I think that we should we can do better.
Yeah.
We are creatures that are meant to love,
Yeah,
right?
sure. We are, yeah, sure.
I mean,
definitely.
so come on. You see,
we-
animals don't love.
No.
Did you understand?
Yeah, yeah,
so
sure.
and
See, we need to change your mind today, and this change must begin today.
absolutely,
It must begin with you.
it's what it
See,
is.
somebody says, he said, in all the days of your life,
Yup.
you need to say sorry to your woman.
But Chioma said
Yes,
that the last
you
time we were
understand?
with you, right?
You need
I think
to
he
be saying
mentioned
sorry
the
to-
man's
even-
name, right? But I
even-
can't
see,
remember the man's
Yeah,
name again.
you know, even if your woman is doing you wrong,
Yeah.
you know, the way to convert something to love is very, very easy. But
Tell me,
it's
bro.
just that,
Tell me,
it's just
tell
that
me.
some people they make things so complicated
All right.
for themselves and the other person. You don't
Convert
understand?
things to love.
Yeah, converting. Let me point out this reason
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
For instance, she is my woman, and there is this attitude of her that I don't like.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
I need to pause you right
Yeah,
here now.
Sure. Okay, just go on.
Have you met her?
Yeah? No.
He's putting on the spotlight.
No. We're just trying to.
Hold on.
You know, we
Have
talk
you
based
have
on-
you met her
Yeah,
on this camera now?
No, better. You know, let me tell you.
All right,
wait,
all right.
Let's
Okay,
leave that aside.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
leave that aside.
Let me tell you
You
something.
can also ask me the same
Yeah,
question.
I have
bro.
friends.
You
I
know,
have friends.
it's all right.
You know, you understand? So, you know, the way I treat my casual friends now, I can relate that to my woman as well.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
So we can do that by in the sense that, look, this is the attitude of her. She likes doing this so much, and I don't like it, and I know it's not right, it's not good for her. What am I supposed to do as her man? What am I supposed to do to bring an end to such kind of life
Yep.
or to such kind of attitude in her? This is what I would do. Look, see, let me give you an instance. There is a man who is a smoker, and he found out that his younger boy, his son, is trying to be a smoker as well. You know what this man said? He said to his son, "The son, you know I love you so much. You know I cannot do without you. You know you are my all and all. But I want the best for you. See, you know you want to be a player, right?" And the son says, "Yes, I want to be a player." And he said, "Look, you know players, they run 90 minutes. And you must, before you can run 90 minutes, you must stop smoking so that your breathing, you will have 100% way of breathing. Because this can stop you from playing, because for you to achieve your goals and your dreams to be a player, you must put an end to this smoking."
Yeah.
And that is how it is. You focus, you let your mind, your woman, place her attention on what she likes and the disadvantage of what she do to you that you don't like it. Those things you don't like, man, you tell her, "I don't like this," and look at things. Those are the harm this could cause to our relationship. These are the things it could cause us. Those are the things it could cause our children. You place your children before her. Do you want our children to behave, to grow in this form of life? Do you want them
That
to
would be so bad.
you know, you understand? So in doing those things, you can cure all those kind of life.
Absolutely.
You can change her life by understanding with her. And don't think the moment you say it is done. No, you give her time too.
Absolutely.
Give her time to amend her ways.
Absolutely.
Give her time to understand with you. And don't do that with your physical strength.
Absolutely.
Don't do that with your power and your strength.
So point
Keep
is,
it in the hands of God and let love rule. So we are saying 100% no to gender-based violence.
Of course. So the last point is couples should learn
To love.
to love, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, like you said lastly, they should learn to settle things amicably.
Amicably with you.
Issues
Yeah.
will, surely come up,
Yeah.
right?
With
Or issues
understanding.
might come up,
Yeah.
but then where there is understanding,
Yeah.
then
Love flows.
love flows. Just said. Absolutely.
So
And so,
we, the DIS, the
Absolutely.
Influence Show,
absolutely.
we are saying we love you all, and we need you to love your women as well.
It's what
Love
it
your
is.
man.
It's what
You know,
it is.
you don't expect. You cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
It's not-
You cannot
yeah.
give what you don't have.
Yeah.
So please, the little one you have, the love you have, keep showering your love on your man, keep showering your love on your woman, and there will be no gender-based violence.
Absolutely. But love is the number one antidote
Love is,
to
yeah,
all
yeah,
of
sure,
this, man.
to all of this.
Love.
So
is
we
the
are urging
number
you,
one cure,
we are urging you
right?
out there
to go
to
love.
love.
And the more you
Keep
love,
loving.
the less
See,
violence
you know,
see in your home.
there's something. You know,
Go
love doesn't
go
have
love.
limits.
Yep, it's what it is.
You can keep
There's-
loving,
there's no
keep
bound, right?
loving. You know, it has no boundary.
It is what it is, man.
Do you understand?
One thing with love is if you are trying to love somebody and all he keeps doing to you is to be showing you hate
Yeah.
hate all the time, you keep on loving the person, keep on loving, keep on building
Yeah.
love upon love
Yeah,
on
upon
him,
love, yeah.
and before you know
By so
it,
doing,
he will no longer bear the burden of love,
yes.
and eventually he start retaliating
Yeah,
in
sure.
kindness. So
Yeah,
like,
sure.
that's how it works. Even if you love your wife now and she feels like not loving you, you are in the business already.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so nobody must put us under, right? So you need to be in the business of relationship. So all you need to do is to keep on loving, keep loving her,
And
no matter how she tried to repel your love from the onset, continue to build love upon love, and eventually she started retaliating
Yes.
inside, and that also goes to the other
yeah.
party.
And
Yup.
on the before we go on,
Yeah.
I would like to drop this.
All right,
You
drop
know,
it quick, man.
You know, if we have friends like you guys out there. You know, when you want to start a relationship, you always try to bring your friends in between those things, in between the relationship, and they will be like, today you need to be putting this your do's and the don'ts before your woman. You shouldn't be letting her rule your house. Don't let her do this. Nobody should force you to rule to rule your home.
Yeah.
Nobody should force you to do those things the way you are supposed to lead your family.
All right.
The only person that is due to lead you in your home is God.
Absolutely.
The third party is not allowed.
That's what it is.
So please, let love rule in your home.
Absolutely. And if you are so confused about this, go see the relationship between Christ and the church.
And the
man.
church, yeah.
We're living it here.
Yeah.
Let's
sure,
go.
definitely. Man,
TIS,
thank you very much.
until
We
we
will
come
come your way again. We are
need you
TIS,
to
the
keep on-
Influence Show.
We need you to also keep on saying no
Yeah.
to
Gender-based
gender-based violence. Let's go.